Hi, this is Russell here from Low Fruit Solutions, and today I'm going to be demonstrating the author features portion of the Pro Blogger application. So firstly, what is author features? Well, author features is a way for you to essentially enhance the way that the author portion of your blog is displayed to your readers. It also offers another option, which is to do author replacement, or a substitution as we call it, and the purpose for that is really if you have, say for instance, multiple guest authors and you don't want to increase your Shopify plan just so you can create more Shopify accounts to then have them as guest authors, right? So this way you'd be able to maintain your existing Shopify plan and to have as many authors as you want displayed across your blog and your store. So because they're two kind of distinctively different pieces, we're going to split this the author features presentation into two parts, and the first part I'm going to be covering is what I'm going to be calling the author box, and that is the display of the author on your blog, right? So here we have a demonstration store. For those of you who've watched any of the existing videos, it's going to start looking very familiar, and we're going to have a look at what an existing blog looks like. So we're going to just choose the old, let's choose actually a different one for a change. And what we're going to see here in this particular blog is that this theme demonstrates the author right at the top here, right, little section there, by Low Fruit Solutions, which is the standard, in this case, admin store account. There's no bottom section. Some themes will show the author details at the bottom here, and based on who the article author is set in the Shopify side. So let's go back to let's go to the dashboard, and we're going to go to apps, and what we're going to see here, obviously, it's Pro Blogger. It says UAT, but that's because we're on a demonstration store. For the production side, there will just be Pro Blogger itself, and we're going to go into the app, and we're going to enable the author features section, and there's obviously quite a few little settings in there which we'll come to in a very short while. So just enable and hit save. That will now copy down all the necessary components required for that particular feature. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the installation instructions. Now, for all features within Pro Blogger, there is this general install component. If you've already done the general install component for another feature, then you don't need to do it again. It's a one-off installation. But if not, we're going to go through it now anyway. So just go to scroll down, and there's a piece of code here, this include Pro Blogger section wrapper. We're just going to select and copy that. And what I like to do is I like to just create a new tab. This will allow me to swap between the panes so I can see the instructions on one side and the code changes on the other. So I'm just going to click on Online Store. And you can see I'm on the debut theme here, but this portion applies to pretty much all themes. Go hit Actions and then Edit Code. We're going to click on the theme.liquid in the left-hand side here, and the output will be displayed in the right. Actually, before we go on any further, so we do recommend you back up your theme before doing any changes, because it would allow you to revert back to your previous state, and in case you make any mistakes or you just don't like how things look. To do that, you would simply we're just going to quickly demonstrate here, you would just go to the Actions menu and hit Duplicate, and that will give you a copy of your theme that you could then publish later after the code changes if you want. Right, so let's just go back here, edit code, back to the theme.liquid, and you'll see there's this head section here at the top, right? It may not be on line 4 in your theme, but this is what you're looking for. I'm just going to do a carriage return afterwards and paste that piece of code in the installation instructions. If you did type it in, do make sure this portion shows green, because there are a number of different quotes, and if you put the wrong quote in like I did here now, you'll see that section goes black. We need it to be green, which is the single quote. Right, so I'm just going to hit save. Now that is the general installation portion done. So we're just going to go back to the app, and we'll just collapse the general install accordion, and we're going to expand author features. Now there's quite a lot of stuff in here. Right now because we're going to split it up into two parts. The first part is focusing on displaying the author feature box, and then the second part will do author substitution. I'm going to then pick out pieces from here specifically, right? What we're going to do is we're going to copy this piece of code here, which is include Pro Blogger shortcode wrapper. We're going to go back to our code, and we're going to find, first we'll click on article, right? Now your themes, depending on the age of them, will vary, right? This particular version debut, new themes, they use sections, right? So if your theme includes something like this, which says section article template in the article.liquid file, then you should go to that file to make this change, right? Because it's that's where the real work is being done, if you will. So we'll scroll down to sections, because that's where section files live. I'm going to click on article-template. And what we're going to do is right at the top, which is going to include the Pro Blogger shortcode wrapper. Okay, and the next step is we're going to change the article.content here, right? So if you search, you can do a Control F and you can put article.content in it, and it will show you, the instances of this. It should only be one in this case, but you can always click around to find it. And we're going to change article.content to article_contents. Right, now what that'll do is it's actually going to take the existing blog content and pull it through this particular include, and it'll replace that content piece here, right? So the next step is we're going to add the piece of code that's going to display or change the display the author box. Now what I like to do, now it doesn't really matter to this theme, is if we go back to the install instructions, we'll see this clearly here, right? Now we're not going to replace article.author at this time. We'll do that in the next step, because that's not the point of this particular exercise. We're just going to display basically display the author box. Right, so you can see there's a bit of instruction in this image, right? So which is if author update, which basically is if author update is true. Right, close off the curly bracket. We're just going to put an end if here, because we don't have to display anything alternatively, because there is no existing text in here. Now if you had in your theme, you had something like article dot, like it would say like article.author, you'd want to make sure, or any other code for that matter, you would want to make sure it's on the other side of an else. So I'm just going to put that in there as an example. Right, so but in here we don't need to worry, because the only place it's showing author is at the top, and we can choose to take that out if we want. Right, so we're just going to go back here. So it goes if author update include pro-blogger.snippet.authorbox. Right, so I'm just going to cheat a little bit here, copy this code, because it's pretty similar in syntax. Yeah, pro-blogger snippet, let's just reconfirm, .authorbox. Okay, right, I'm just going to take that piece out, which is unnecessary. Alright, let's hit save. Now what that's done is if we go back to the blog, we're going to hit refresh. You'll see now it's added a section for the author at the bottom. Now this is completely stylable, so I'm just going to demonstrate a little bit of that as well. So we're going to go back to the application, because this is where we'll manage the settings for that. Back to step 1, author features, and you can see we're currently using a horizontal line. Now what we can change to is a horizontal box. Right, at the moment we're including an author image. We can take that out if we wish. Right, so let's maybe do there's a couple options here. Maybe I'll make let me demonstrate the vertical setup. We'll include the author image. We'll leave it as H4. I mean, we can change the heading, make it a bit smaller, which is the author name. Now we've got these icons in here, and for you to understand what that is, I'm going to have to make some changes within the blog content, which we'll do shortly. The color and styling here. What do these settings mean? So inherit from theme means disregard all these settings below, right? So it'll get a default color that'll match your existing theme, where here you get an opportunity to change the styling accordingly. In fact, let's do that, but using a horizontal box, because the boxes are the ones where you can really change the interior colors. The lines are you actually only just changing the divider line, right? So box background color is currently set as white. That's fine. Let's outline color, author text. Why don't we change this to a little bit more of a sort of more ivory color, if you will. You can choose multiple different options here on how to put in colors depending on what you like, so you can match your theme. So we'll do that. A little bit of ivory, outline color gray, author text gray, bio text. Now biome is essentially the label you can apply to your author. Let's change that a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting, because my theme's a little bit green. We're going to change that to green. Okay, it's not going to look particularly fancy, but we're just going to do some demonstration here of what the various styles look like. So let's just go there. So we've just changed this from a line, right, to a box. So there we go. That's changed a box with an ivory with the outline. Now you could change that, obviously, however you want to style things. Let's just quickly demonstrate what a vertical box looks like, which really just changes the alignment of where the author image and this text style to be center aligned and to put the image in the middle. My personal favorite is actually the vertical line. We're just going to save that as well. It's kind of very clean. Now, how do you get the more interesting pieces in here, like the social media connections for that particular author? Well, what we're going to do for that is we're going to go into the blogs. So it's going to go to my other tab here, and we're looking at this particular blog right now, this season's fruit, pears and mangoes. We're going to scroll down to the bottom, and we're going to add the following shortcode. So shortcodes are presented by an open square bracket. We're just going to type author. Now, if you can specify name, but we're going to delve into that in part 2. A name would actually replace the name of the author, but right now we're just going to do bio equals, and we're going to give a bio for Low Fruit Solutions. The #1 Shopify, terrible, Shopify app developer. Why not big note ourselves a little bit? And then probably what's more of interest to anyone is adding social media links. So we're just going to put that in there. They have to be the full paths, facebook.com. Let's just put that as fruit, just to speed things up here. Pinterest, we can do that as well. And this is going to throw a few examples in here. .com. You can also do the more traditional stuff. Email equals fruit@com. Website, if they've got, your guest author has their own website, as a classic example. And there are a number of social media icons here. So what we currently support are obviously the existing ones in here, which is Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, email, website. I might have forgotten one or two more in there, but you can see those in the reference guide for the app. Like if I go to here, we go to manage. If you really want to see all the current ones we have available, so there we go. image, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat, Twitter, website, YouTube. All these can be added. So I'm just going to close that off, that square bracket, and I'm going to save. Now let's quickly refresh this. There you go. So there's the bio in that color, that awful color we specified, and these are the icons underneath that we've also specified in the app. Now there is styling options for that particular portion, right? So if we go to author features again, I'm going to just change a few things around. I'm going to choose a round icon shape. I want them small, and I'm going to change them to color. So we have 3 options: color, dark, and light. 3 sizes: small, medium, and large, and shapes round and square. I'm actually going to change that. I can't take that current bio text color. Now the outline color is what sets the for vertical alignments will be what sets that dividing line. So I'm just going to change that to a dark green, and I'm going to thicken it up a little bit just for interest's sake, and save. Right, and there we go. And that is, implementing the author box feature portion of author features. So join us in the secondary part, and what we'll do is go into author substitution and how that works. It's basically a continuation of the code changes we've already been doing. And thank you very much for your time today.